Most people believe intelligence is something you can measure. Grades, IQ tests, degrees on a wall. But psychology tells a very different story. Your intelligence is not revealed in big moments. It shows up quietly every day in the small habits you repeat without thinking. And here's the uncomfortable truth. These habits don't just reflect how you think. They slowly change how your brain works. Over time, they weaken judgment, reduce clarity, and train your mind to make worse decisions without you even noticing. This isn't about being born smart or not. It's about what you practice daily. Let's start with one of the most misunderstood habits: magical thinking. Some people live as if luck is in control of their lives. They wear the same lucky clothes to important events. They avoid certain numbers. They believe a color, a sign, or a ritual brings success. It feels harmless. Sometimes it even feels comforting, but psychology calls this magical thinking. It happens when the brain confuses coincidence with cause. Maybe once you wore those socks and something good happened. Your brain linked the two and never let go. The danger is not the habit itself. The danger is that logic gets replaced by superstition. Intelligent thinking pauses and asks, what is the evidence? Damaged thinking skips that step and builds meaning where none exists. Over time, this trains the brain to accept stories instead of facts. Next comes chronic sleep neglect. Many people proudly say they only need 4 or 5 hours of sleep. They stay up late scrolling. They wake up exhausted and push through the day. But neuroscience is clear. Sleep is not rest. Sleep is maintenance. Without enough sleep, memory suffers. Attention drops. Decision-making slows down. After one night of poor sleep, your brain performs similarly to someone who is intoxicated. Highly intelligent people protect their sleep because they understand something simple. Your brain is your main asset. Neglecting sleep is not discipline. It is self-sabotage disguised as productivity. Another habit that quietly damages thinking is avoiding time alone. Some people feel uncomfortable in silence. No music, no TV, no background noise. They immediately reach for stimulation. Psychology shows that constant distraction weakens mental processing. The brain never gets time to organize thoughts or reflect. Solitude is where intelligent thinking develops. It's where ideas connect and problems get solved. Avoiding silence doesn't mean you're social. It often means you're avoiding your own thoughts. If you can't sit alone for 10 minutes without checking your phone, that's not connection. That's dependence on distraction. Another warning sign is living entirely on small talk. Weather, traffic, weekend plans. Small talk is normal at first. But when it's all someone ever offers, it suggests a lack of curiosity. Psychologists describe this as a low need for cognition, a dislike for deep thinking. Intelligent minds enjoy discussing ideas, concepts, and possibilities. They don't need constant noise to feel engaged. Shallow conversation keeps the brain comfortable, but stagnant. Then there's confidence without content. The loudest voice in the room, interrupting others, explaining things they barely understand. At first glance, it looks like confidence. Psychology calls this the Dunning-Kruger effect. People with limited understanding often overestimate their knowledge. True intelligence behaves differently. It asks questions. It admits uncertainty. Fake intelligence hides behind volume. Real intelligence stays curious. Another habit that damages thinking is blindly following instructions. Some people follow rules even when reality clearly contradicts them. If the manual says one thing, they ignore what's right in front of them. This is not discipline. It's cognitive laziness. Intelligent thinking adapts. It adjusts when conditions change. Damaged thinking obeys instructions even when they no longer make sense. This same pattern appears in belief systems, conspiracies, superstitions, oversimplified explanations. These ideas feel exciting because they reduce complexity. They turn uncertainty into certainty, but that certainty is false. Healthy thinking questions information. It verifies sources. It accepts uncertainty. Damaged thinking grabs the most dramatic explanation and stops there. The cost is real problem solving. Superstition replaces action. Another major factor is rigid thinking. Some people reject new ideas automatically. That's not how we do things. Psychologists call this mental inflexibility. The inability to adapt when reality changes. Intelligent minds update their beliefs. Rigid minds defend outdated ones. Life rewards adaptation. It punishes resistance. Instant gratification is another silent destroyer. Scrolling, snacking, endless entertainment. The brain becomes trained to expect rewards without effort. Studies on delayed gratification show that people who struggle to wait often face challenges later in life with finances, education, and health. Intelligent thinking tolerates discomfort today for benefits tomorrow. Damaged thinking reaches for immediate pleasure and calls it freedom. Poor listening habits also weaken thinking, interrupting, zoning out, pretending to listen. Listening forces the brain to process new information. It builds comprehension and flexibility. People who struggle to listen often struggle with complexity. They avoid ideas that challenge them. Intelligent minds learn from everyone. Damaged minds assume they already know enough. Dismissal is another pattern. That's stupid. That won't work. Instant rejection is not wisdom. It's avoidance. Intelligent people explore ideas before rejecting them. Damaged thinking avoids effort by dismissing complexity. And there's doom scrolling and constant media consumption. Relaxation isn't the problem. Excess is. Hours disappear every day. Focus weakens. Attention fragments. The brain becomes addicted to stimulation. Balanced minds consume entertainment and growth. Damaged thinking sinks into endless distraction. Blindly following trends is another sign. Changing identity constantly to match what's popular. Copying others without reflection. This isn't creativity, it's herd behavior. Intelligent thinking asks, is this aligned with who I am? Damaged thinking copies to feel safe. Even gaming shows this pattern. Playing endlessly without improvement. Repeating the same mistakes. Time alone doesn't create growth. Reflection does. Intelligence is not talent. It's awareness. And here's the truth. These habits don't make someone unintelligent overnight. They slowly train the brain to stay shallow, reactive, and stuck. Change the habits, and thinking improves. Clarity increases. Confidence becomes grounded. Most people will hear this and move on. They'll return to habits that feel comfortable but limit growth. But if you want to understand psychology at a deeper level and actually improve how you think, this channel is for you. Subscribe, because every week, we break down the psychological patterns that shape decisions, behavior, and intelligence in ways most people never notice.